Gen on Blu-ray looks
so good.
Amazing.
Season 3.
If you have the means, I highly suggest.
I'm waiting for the whole show to come
What I
out.
love is that because the series was shot on film, and so they were able to go back and get beautiful looking HD footage of it with really, really excellent color.
Yeah.
But they also, because all the special effects were done on after the film was dumped to tape, they were all standard definition and balls looking. And so what they did is they went back and redid the special effects in HD, but exactly like they'd done them originally.
They used the original film elements that had been put to tape after.
Yeah, and so like they didn't.
So
they didn't.
recompose it.
What I like is that unlike when they did the, frankly, super disappointing HD re-release of the original series, they didn't like try to do anything fancy with the graphics. They weren't like, well, while we're in here, we'll just tweak this up. It looks just like the show, but in higher definition, even though they had to redo all the graphics, and the model shots look astounding.
Yeah, it's so good.
But
I
don't get turned off by the fact it's in 4x3 because
it's so
the thing with the 4x3 is that they couldn't widescreen it because they had the widescreen like actual.
But there's stuff out of
Yeah,
shot.
Yes,
stuff
there's
out
like
of
people,
shot.
there's people literally just hanging like they basically like
Yeah.
say 4x3 would basically be from where Graham is to like right here.
Yeah, because it was
But they would have Matt sitting right outside of frame, ready
Like
to come
lights
in.
Well, like
stuff.
just outside of the frame, there's a light.
The only unfortunate thing about
people
the Blu-ray
stand
releases
waiting.
is that the even numbered releases for seasons 2 and 4 were done by a different company, which is why they're lower quality. And then for the last 3 seasons, they all went with CBS Digital.
I heard about that. I don't find it noticeable enough to have.
I noticed it in
with
season 2, but man, season
But no one
3
cares
is where
about
it
season 2
starts to
anyway,
look.
so-
Who cares about it?
Exactly.
Like-
Season 3 is where it starts to look.
I
quality.
hope more than anything that I would not be super bothered if they didn't get around to doing Voyager, but I really hope they do this for DS9.
Like Sacrifice of Angels.
Yeah.
So
What season
Points-
are they on for the
5, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure they're season 6.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I
I
gotta
was
catch
expecting
up.
by it as an entire show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I was
we're just waiting on one season now.
point on DS9, in fact, that I had read an article recently. I don't know who interviewed them, but some website. These guys went and found one of the guys who did effects. He runs the effects house. One of the 2 effects houses the DS9 used, and they were having a conversation with him. And they're saying, "Do you think there's any what do you think about TNG coming out?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty cool." And they said to him, "It's like, well, it's too bad that." DS9 won't get that kind of treatment because obviously everything was in CG and it was only made for film. And the guy said, I'm sorry, what do you mean? He's like, well, because you would have made all your effects for standard broadcast definition, you could never do it in Blu-ray. He's like, no, that's not true at all. And they're like, well, wait, what do you mean? He's like, well, no, all of my guys are told when I train them, you make effects for cinema quality. You do not make standard definition, like mixed down, whatever. Everything we've made, every model we made in CG, every effect we made in CG is cinema quality. So all we have to do, we have all of those effects still, and that's only one of the 2 houses. But he's like, we have all of those effects, we have all of those models. All we have to do is just build new pathing for all of it, and we could do it. So
I want it now.
they haven't said anything about whether they're going, whether Paramount wants to do DS9 on Blu-ray, but apparently it's not as big a problem to do it.
Season 3, when they redid the opening titles and actually made it look like a station where people live and work.
How novel.
What's that?
How novel.
Yeah.